Wake up behind the mind, give us side up. Ego is the false eye. How do you identify? Say how you gonna know you're in a dream if you don't light up. Time to unify the self. Say how you gonna know you're in a dream if you don't wake up. When you are sleeping, so you know you are dreaming. You don't know you are dreaming until you wake up. Wake your backside up. Time to unify the self. Side up. Escape the loop of imagination. Dream world, dream creation. Wake your backside up. Unify the self. Wake your backside up. Escape the loop of imagination. You gonna know you're in a dream if you don't wake up. Time to unify the self. Oh, you gonna know you're in a dream if you don't wake up. When you are sleeping, so you know you are dreaming. Time to wake up, until you wake up. Escape the loop of imagination. Dream world, dream creation. Wake your backside up. Self is sleeping, obscure behind the mind. Ego is the false eye. How do you identify? How you gonna know you're in a dream if you don't wake up? Wake your backside. How you gonna know you're in a dream if you don't wake up? Time to wake up. Wake your backside up. Wake your backside up. Time to unify the self. It's wake up time. This dream has to end sometime. Yeah.
Yes, it is that time again. It is a wake up time. It is a wake up call with Auset. Thank you for joining. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up from the sleeping, dreaming state. Yes. So, I want to say, hail to the ionized selves. We're in bodies. I want to remind the I that it is time to wake up today. I want to share a video with you, based on the observation of the what they call astronomers, those scientists that are studying that physical universe and just the existence. So I want to share a video because it relates to the I, Primal Guru Self. So within the I and I self called a soul, there is in stillness is the I Teacher Guru Self. And so whose destiny it is to pull the ego off of the I, the one wearing the ego, all the I and I self wearing the ego goes into the duality state. This is how the I and I is in the sleeping, dreaming state. And so it is the primal guru self within to rise up and pull this ego off of the I self. All right, remember that the I is in the void, and all of the I self is anchored and secure into the void self. All right, so it's time to awake from the sleeping, dreaming state. So allow me to share this video with the I and I, and then we'll talk about it. I'll share with you. So just bear with me a moment. All right. So I don't know for why this whole thing is not showing.
star, it will run out of fuel in its core and
Okay, hold
start
on.
changing.
Let me go back to the beginning.
Like any star, it will run out of fuel in its core and start changing. It begins floating, engulfing the orbits of Mercury and Venus, and coming very close to Earth. Betelgeuse is dying. This news has been a hard pill for scientists to swallow, but there is nothing they can do about it because the massive star is about to go supernova anytime soon. Astronomers say it could be tomorrow, next month, or a few months from now. They don't know the exact date, but one thing is certain: the famous Betelgeuse has reached its end, and its death is about to change our minds. What's so special about the Betelgeuse supernova that is everyone frightened? What would happen if the star exploded today, as scientists have predicted? Join us on this intriguing journey as we explore the answers to these questions in today's video. NASA chief announced the Betelgeuse supernova is exploding in 2024. It is over. Nothing can be done to stop the impending doom. NASA chief cries out, warning the world about the oncoming Betelgeuse supernova that could change the trajectory of the planet and life as we know it. Its end is imminent. Like a terminally ill patient, Betelgeuse is drawing closer to its grave. It's only a matter of time before the famous star explodes and ceases to exist. For decades now, astronomers have been fascinated by Betelgeuse, spending time studying the star's features and its impending explosion. What astronomers have greatly feared is about to happen. There is no stopping the emptiness. Betelgeuse is headed for its peak, and its end is coming sooner than we anticipate. Betelgeuse is one of the most remarkable stars we have in the Milky Way, and has captivated astronomers and stargazers for centuries. For a long time, astrophysicists have been mesmerized by this reddish semi-variable star, whose apparent magnitude varies between 0.3 and 1.6. When compared with other stars, Betelgeuse emerges as a first magnitude star with the widest range. The classical astronomers can't describe Betelgeuse more or less ordinary. To the extent was an Alexander mathematician, astrologer, astronomer, and geographer had spent years studying Betelgeuse.
So, um, so that that which they are identifying as Betelgeuse is the I self, right? It is the primal guru self, and I want to um I want to move on. I want to move on to the next slide. So um they in their observation of this the I self that they are calling Beetlejuice, I want to explain to you, to all the ionize, how it relates to all the ionize and why. So Beetle, what they're calling Beetlejuice, the ionized self, is the primal guru self, and this is the self of Aten Ra. Aten Ra is our parent self, and she she makes brings to being three replicas of herself, which they are given the different functions and the different roles that they have to play. Now, one of herself the becomes the teacher guru self, which is within all of us ourself, called this that we identify in the world as the soul. Within the self called the soul is the primal guru self. It is a baby self of this primal self here, that is encoded within the soul to that this is what has to rise up. This guru teacher self within has to rise up from within the self, the soul, to pull the ego off the self that we are existing as in a body called the spirit. So every aspect of the self has a role to play to restore balance back to the I self. Also, there's a self that are involved in being the existence, the role they play to uphold the existence, and then also the role they play for the dissolution of the existence. All right, and so within the I self, called the soul, there is the primal guru self, the baby self of that in dormancy, which is really in stillness. It's in stillness, waiting for the I to come to self inquiry, to bring this mind to stillness, to have inquiry, to inquire about the I self, so that it can rise up and do its job, its role that it was coming to being to perform. All right. So the primal guru self is the feminine, and its masculine self is Shiva Shambhu. Shiva Shambhu avatar is Osiris that came um, into the world in a body as Osiris. All right. So um, Primal Guru self and Shiva Shambhu makes one self, but because of the fractal fragmented state, that's why we are in this world in a masculine and feminine form. All right. So, but to be whole, the masculine and feminine has to be one. So the reason now why the scientists, the observation, they are from the observation are saying that the primal guru self, the light of the primal guru self is going to be exploding, and it's going to be no more, is because this self is the self of Aten Ra, and that was a replica of her light. So when each of the selves come into being, each self is given a light. And once you have finished your destiny, then you no longer need that. You get to merge back into from that which you rise. So this is what is going to happen, because now that the primal guru self has merged back into Aten Ra and no longer needs a separate light. So it's going to be merging back, disintegrating back into Aten Ra, and this is what will be happening. So these scientists, they don't really know what's happening, but they're making lots of assumptions and they're following what their mind is telling them, but they do not know the truth. But I follow the astronomer news of, like, they call it the solar news too. There's some channels that I watch, and I will be sharing some of the things with you guys from now on, because I want to explain what is happening, because I know I have been saying in the videos, and I think if I can get the observations of what ones are observing, and I can correlate it to what I am saying, then ones will be able to understand what I am saying. So this is a merger, because even the eye have a sun. One of those stars that you see shining in the night sky belong to you, but you are not connecting with it because you have been obscured in darkness by the mind that you are wearing. And so usually one have a moon. So there are many moons, are what they call some they call them planets too. They belong to all the ones who are in sleeping dreaming state. Once when you come out of sleeping dreaming state, all of these get dissolved. I will also see if I can find a video where so many of these things are disappearing from the from the skies. So they are observing these are disappearing. So this is what I am saying, that once you come into truth and you get to merge with your real self, then that was representing you into the sky will be dissolved, and only the real self will remain, the light of the real self. So this is what is happening with the primal guru teacher self. um she no longer need the light, because now she has merged back onto her real self, which is Aten Ra and Shiva Shambho, because the primal guru and Shiva Shambho, they share the same light, what the science call Oumuamua, right? And so what they're calling Oumuamua, that will be disintegrated and merging back into Aten Ra, and because her light is black, and so it is not being manifested where you're seeing it shining as the light here, because she's the giver of the light, so she does not um self illuminate. She doesn't bring forth the light the way that we see it. Her light stays in the dark, in being the blackness. And so everyone else that she gives light to, their light is illuminating like how we can see it. And so because she's the giver of the light, right? So know that. So this is why what they call Muamua, which is the primal guru self light, and Shiva Shambho, primal guru self, and Shiva Shambho, one self, masculine, feminine, their lights will be dissolving back into, or merging back into Aten Ra's light, and becoming one as oneself. All right. So I want to share with you also the role that the primal guru self is playing. So it is the self that guides all of its baby self within each and every one of us. The real self, there is a guru self within, that it is destiny to pull this ego. It is the destiny to wake you up from your sleeping dreaming state, because it is a state that you cannot rise up from yourself. You need yourself that is not sleeping and not wearing the consciousness to, because you see, the primal guru self was never wearing this consciousness, never wearing this consciousness. It had um the non-dual consciousness from Aten Ra, and so this is why it was always illuminating, and this is why it no longer needs that, because now it's going to be one with itself, Aten Ra. And so Shiva Shambho and all the feminine merge into the feminine, all the masculine merge into the masculine, and um, men is the masculine to Aten Ra, and Shiva Shambho is Amen self, and so Shiva Shambho merges with Amen, and the primal guru teacher self merges with Aten Ra. So there are two more selves of Aten Ra, which is Nut, and which is the sky. That's why you see this parts of the sky. Many ones are seeing this. Many parts of the sky now. I think I found I've on a video which I'm gonna show you is illuminating. Some parts people can see it already illuminating, because it is it is one of the I self that is playing the role as the sky being Nut. And Nut masculine um is the archangel Gabriel. Sometimes I forget their name. Just let me look to see. That's Nut Hold on. Yes, Archangel Gabriel. And the next self of Aten Ra is, okay, so is Ra. And Ra is the sun, the that illuminates the world for us. She goes to sleeping dreaming state sometimes, and the other time she is awake. So, and her masculine is Set, right? Who plays the role of the devil, right? And so we have the Nut, the Archangel Gabriel, that's her masculine. And then we have Geb, um, who is from the Primal Guru self. And the Geb's masculine is Enoch Metatron. And the self of the Primal Guru self is Oshun, and Archangel Michael. So remember that all the masculine rise from the masculine, all the feminine rise from the feminine. So for the Primal Guru self, feminine, it's two self, Geb, the earth, and Oshun, Mars. And remember, um they share the same sun or light, but when their light is obscure, um depending on the role they are playing. So this is the self, this is the feminine on, and that she becomes the planet, and Oshun, Mars. So this is their self, and so their light is also Oumuamua. That is their real, what they're calling Oumuamua. That is their real light. And but once they are going to be merged back onto, because Oshun and Geb has to be merged back onto the Primal Guru self. So from where each self rise, from that which you rise, that where you will return. So Archangel Michael and Enoch Metatron arise from Shiva Shambho. And so they have to return back onto Shiva Shambho. Shiva Shambho return back onto Amen. So you see, so all of the ionized inside of this dream arise from Aten Ra, but we come into this world um through our surrogate mother, which is Ra, that is herself, that is playing the world. And we were birthed through Ra. All right. And so we have to return back from the same way that we arise. Okay. So this is the lineage. But remember that all is one self, but there's a lineage of how all the selves rise, and from that which you rise, you will return. So I'm appealing to all the ionized self that, this is the time now for the Primal Guru self is about to what they're calling to go supernova, which is really mean that she's merging back into her real self, and no longer needs this separate consciousness, this from her real self, no longer need this a separate light from her real self. She's merging back to her real self. So is her masculine self merging back onto to Amen, to be one self, using the same light that they return back onto that which they arise from. And so this is the call for all the wake up call for all the ionized selves to do the same thing, so that the ionized self can return back onto that which you rise from. So the teacher guru self within is there from the primal guru self, and all of these teacher guru selves also have to return back onto this primal guru self. From wherever the lineage is, this is how it has to return. And so I am a calling for all the I and I self to, this is the time now for the I to rise up and call the I teacher guru self within, so that the I can come into self-truth. And so that will be on the next slide. So this is now a call for the I and I to do this affirmation, so that the I can call onto the I teacher guru self within to rise up. All right, so let's do this. Arise, because you're calling you, because remember that it is the destiny of the I teacher guru self to pull the ego off. Remember that the I cannot do this for the I self, because this mind, this consciousness, it does not want to give up this dream, and it is fighting to stay in command, and the I self must rise up to be in command. So arise, arise, O great supreme teacher within, I self soul. Arise, arise, O great supreme teacher within, I self soul. Arise, arise, O great supreme teacher within, I self soul. Arise, arise, O great supreme teacher within, I self soul. And so when you're doing this on your own, you can say this as many times as you want. I am just saying it 4 times. I call, I call, I call. I call on myself, my great supreme teacher within, the I self, call a soul. Remember that you have an unbiblical cord attaching you to yourself called the soul, but you do not recognize that that is your real self, and you think that this ego self that you are in is your real self, that they identify as a spirit self. That is the self that is sleeping in the sleeping dreaming state. And so this ego, the mind, must be pulled off of the self, so that you can only be your soul self. Remember, when you come awake, you no longer need any aspect of those self. You just merge back and be yourself. All right, so let's do this. I call on my great supreme teacher self within, I self soul. I call on my great supreme wisdom within. I call on my great supreme intelligence within. That is your teacher guru self. All right, I call on my supreme truth within. I call, I call, I call. You can sing this too if you want. I sing it all the time. I call on my great supreme teacher within, Aten Ra. You can just keep saying the primal guru self, because remember, these are all the selves of Aten Ra. Arise, arise, my great supreme teacher within, myself, soul. Arise, arise, my great supreme wisdom within. Arise, arise, my great supreme intelligence within. Arise, arise, my great supreme truth within. Arise, arise, my great supreme teacher within. Arise, arise, arise. I seek my truth from my great supreme teacher within, I self, call it soul. Because we have been seeking truth from God, we have been seeking from all these dualities, and we're never seeking the truth from ourself, called the soul. This is why you must be on the mission to seek your truth from yourself. Don't call on anything outside of you, because the teacher is within the I self, called the soul. Call it within the I self, so that the teacher can rise up. The I self soul is within the void. The void rises up to still the mind. Everything that you need is with the I self called the soul. All your power lies with yourself, the soul. I seek my great supreme wisdom within. I seek my truth from my great supreme intelligence within. I seek my great supreme truth from within. From within where? The I self, called a soul. I seek my truth from my great supreme teacher within the I self, called a soul. I seek my truth from within I self, called a soul. I trust my great supreme teacher within the I self, called the soul, because this mind, this consciousness has programmed I to doubt the I self, because this mind has been telling the I that the soul is in sin and the soul is doing bad things, when it is this mind, this ego false self. And this mind has been spreading propaganda and lies and allowing the I not to trust the I self. So it is very important that the I do this. I trust my great supreme teacher within the I self, called a soul. I trust my great supreme wisdom within the I self, called a soul. I trust my inner supreme intelligence. I trust my inner supreme truth. I trust my truth from within. I trust my truth from within. I trust my truth from my inner supreme teacher. Soul, I honor I. Soul, I honor I. I honor I honor I honor I. So sometimes my tongue, I'm having problems with my speech and my tongue because the dualities, they don't want me to speak. And so they, into this body messing up this, what my speech and my saying. Okay. So I want you to always be aware when you are listening to me, that this is what these dualities is doing to me while I am talking. Okay. All right. So it's very important that I and I do this, because like I said, what you are seeking, everything you came here equipped. You came equipped with everything that you need within the I self. This is why all these dualities have been busy isolating the I from the I self, called a soul. They have been holding the soul in slavery. You have no idea how your soul cries to be liberated from slavery, from the gods that you have put it in slavery to. Believe me, many ones don't want to know this truth, and especially on this channel when I speak the truth, they don't like it. But sorry for this ego who don't like the truth, but all egos have to be dissolved. I will no longer hold back my speech. So on my next channel, I speak freely, because this is the channel that I just speak all the things that need to be spoken. But sometimes the ego needs to step back, and you need to check your ego. All right, and know that this ego is lying to you. It is the mind. It is a device the I is wearing that needs to be pulled off. And there's only one self that can do this, and it is the I self, called a soul. Within there is the teacher guru self, that destiny. It is to pull this ego off, right? So within the I self, called a soul, there is a what? The teacher that is to teach you about yourself. Because you do not know. You are making false assumption. You are claiming to be something that you are not. And you don't want to inquire of yourself and ask. All right? This mind is programming you. So it's time now that you call your teacher self within yourself, called the soul, because you have everything that you need equipped. so that it can pull this ego off of you so you can know truth. All right, so now we done this affirmation. Remember that you want to say your vibration. So let's move on to that. So it is very important to do these vibrations daily. Why? Because you are cocooned by your consciousness, the mind, and all the dualities that you call on. You have a veil over your eyes, a veil of magnetic energy over your eyes that does not allow you to see the truth. You are seeing through false perception, and you are cocooned in a magnetic coffin, like a caterpillar in the process of metamorphosis, but it's stuck into a cocoon. This is what you are, stuck into a cocoon of magnetic energy, and you have not emerged, and you must emerge. All right. So these vibrations will do this for you, including you calling onto the I self, the teacher guru self, to come liberate you from slavery. God, I don't know why you don't want to think that you're in slavery. This mind is delusional. So now let's begin. We'll start off with the ah vibration. And you can do these vibrations however long you want. Like just immerse yourself in it. All right. And remember that in the center of your chest there is a void. Right? Remember that every aspect of yourself is in a void. I want you to remember this. The void is the aspect of the I self that is learning about all aspect of itself in the duality. So every aspect of the self is inside a void, included in your body. The self is in a void. Your soul is in a void, and in the center of your chest there is a void. Is there to help you to still your mind. When the void rises up and goes into your head, into the mind, you will hear complete silence and stillness. You will not hear any talking, nothing. Complete stillness to this mind. You want to get to this state, to have the void rise up into your mind. Okay? All right, so let's go. Inhale and relax your body. And let's begin with the ah vibration. So between each vibration, remember to take a breath and relax your body and spiral the vibration around your body. So let's inhale and relax. And now we will move to the aham vibration. And we continue with the same pattern of relaxing through, going into stillness between the vibration and spiraling the vibration around your body. Inhale, relax. And now I want to continue with the ha hum vibration, but this time I want you to close your ears along with closing your eyes, because I want the vibration to resonate within the body. So let's close our eyes and close our ears, and we will do this hum vibration 4 times. All right? And remember to relax and give that stillness between each vibration. Let's begin. And now we will move on to the Asuham vibration. Remember to spiral the vibration around your body, and also to bring this mind into the center of the eye chest, into the void, so the void will purify the mind, because we want the teacher guru self to rise up to pull this ego off the I self, and we need stillness. We need this mind in stillness. All right? So inhale, relax, and let's begin with the Ah So Hum. Ah So Hum. Asoham. So remember to just keep doing these vibrations daily. And so with that, I will close. Thank you for joining I in this wake up call with Auset Mahat. And please share these vibrations with your family. The I and I, as these children selves, love the vibrations. So engage with your family doing these vibrations, and remember to do this affirmation, calling the I Guru teacher self within, the I self call the soul, to rise up, to pull this ego, this mind device off of the I, so that I can finally awake from the sleeping, dreaming state. All right, so this is the mission. This is the wake up call for all I and I selves to wake up. I want to thank you so much for your presence. Thank you for joining I. And I will just close out with this wake up song. So, sorry, let me start it from the beginning.